Have you ever been in a supermarket aisle, your child melting down, strangers staring, and you're just trying to hold it together? I've been there. As both a behavior specialist and a parent to a now young adult with autism, I know exactly how overwhelming these moments can be. So in this video, I'll walk you through practical strategies to make shopping trips more manageable, less stressful, and even successful. Just know you're not in this alone. So let's not waste any time. Let's get started. As parents, we're busy running around all day long, which includes making simple trips in and out of stores. Now, when you have a child on the autism spectrum, these simple trips become a little more complicated. So why are stores so especially challenging? Well, a few things. On the sensory side of it, you have bright lights. There are announcements over the loudspeaker. Also, sometimes the store can be very crowded. So there's a lot of people and crowded aisles. And then also, on top of it all, unpredictable noises. All things that can really trigger tantrums and meltdowns in public. Now, on the positive side, you also have things like favorite foods and things that smell really good, really cool looking toys that look fun to play with, all within arm's reach. That brings another whole set of issues. Additionally, long waits at checkout lines can really pose a real problem because your child does not have the patience or going up and down aisles looking for things. On top of everything, as parents, you may feel pressure from the potential judgment from others for the disruption your child's making, or just that you feel like, I don't know how to take care of my child and they're judging me on that. So the whole shopping experience becomes a really negative one, and ones that you start to try to avoid. That's why some preparation is required, and that includes mental preparation. One thing you can do when preparing to go on an outing with your child with autism is to pick your timing. Sometimes it's better to go at an early morning time, especially during the weekday when there's just less people in the store. You want to kind of find those times where you know there won't be a crowd, and also in the event of a meltdown, there's less of an audience to see it. So that's a really important time. You want to avoid those after school times or weekends where everyone and their mother is there. Another thing you can do is create a shopping survival kit. Make sure to pack up some snacks, some favorite toys, maybe fidget toys, or a tablet. So that'll address in case there's any sensory overload, something that can keep them kind of focused. Also, in case of boredom and they want to act out, you have those items at the ready in case they need it. Additionally, you want to, before you even leave the house, start the pre-teaching then with visuals. So have a visual of an apple, maybe some milk, maybe cereal, and say, first we're going to get apples. Then we're going to buy milk, and then you have a picture of your cereal because then you're going to get cereal. And so have visuals for that so your child knows what's coming and it's very predictable. Now, on that note, it's also really important to limit your list. You can't really do a full week's worth of shopping with your child if they haven't gotten to the point that they can handle a long time out at the store. So keep it simple, buy just a few items, and then you get in, you get out, and if without any meltdowns, then you're already going on the right trajectory. And it's a positive experience for you, a positive experience for your child. And then as you continue and practice this, you can go a little longer, add some more items to that list until you are out doing your full week's worth of grocery shopping. Another thing, a really important thing, is when you're walking in, you're already planning your exit strategy. You have to have an exit plan. Because sometimes you'll walk into a store and you kind of know this might be a lot for my child. Start checking the exits, start checking where can I pull aside, where can we kind of step away should there be a meltdown that you have to address right then and there. So it might be a quiet area, a boring section of the store that you're in, but look around to see where that is. So in case your child does start to act up and you can't really just leave the store altogether, that you can find your way to a quiet section, or if you are close enough to the entrance, then you step out of the store. But when you walk in, have your plan for how you walk back out. Additionally, if your child is verbal, you may even want to have a safe word or have them just be able to express that they need to leave, that it's too much for them. And so that really helps promote that functional language. And so if they can say their word like out or I need to go. Depends how much language they have and how much they can say. And practice that before you even go into the situation and into that setting. It's so important to practice these things outside of the setting itself, where already it may be a little more anxiety provoking. So practice, practice, practice. Now, once in the store, there are strategies you can use to help your child be successful during the outing. First off, you could use positive language when you engage with them. So that may be as simple as, oh, I like how you're helping me push the cart. Oh, great, putting the cookies in the basket for me. Little things like that. Oh, I like how you're walking, holding onto the cart with me. Making sure that they're getting positive attention and you're engaging with them in a really positive manner. Another thing you can do is provide choices or jobs. And that would look like, here, do you want to hold the list for me while I get the cookies, or do you want to get the cookies for me? So they have that choice. Or if the child's old enough, or at least they know where these items are, you can send them, here, go get me some crackers, and they'll know where to go to get it. Giving them specific things to do will help keep them focused, and they'll be on a mission. And that's something that we want. Another thing, now this more focuses on us as parents, is that when they start to melt down, if something comes up and they start getting upset, the big thing is you have to stay calm, because a child is reading your body language, your talking, all that as they start to kind of fall apart. So it's really important that you really try to hold it together, because as they're falling apart, you're like, oh, and they feel you, it just becomes this kind of spiral that goes on, and you're both working each other up, and the more you're getting upset, they're getting like, get up, get up, get up, and they're like, ah! And you're having this big meltdown going on. You want to be calm. It's really important that you keep it together, you're calm for them. And then another thing that you should do is work on calming strategies with your child. So you want to redirect them by, here, let's count to 10. There may be other things you have, either like, here, hold your doll. If they have something that kind of a calming toy, something that they have to help soothe them. The other piece would be to address these tantrums or these meltdowns, if possible. Sometimes it's right in the middle of everything and you can't go anywhere else. But if you can, pull them aside, give them some space, let them kind of calm down, but you have to also project that calmness. One of my favorite strategies to use is if you sense a tantrum starting or it's coming, you can feel it building, and that is to redirect that and engage with them. So for me, my favorite is to, all of a sudden I drop something on the floor. I'm like, oh no. And all of a sudden they're like, where they're starting to get worked up, they're like, oh wait, something's all over the floor, and like, here, help me pick it up. And they help pick it up. So now they're redirected. They've completely forgotten what they're about to get upset about, because there was a big commotion I just created. And so they help me with that. And then once they do, oh, I love how you're helping me out. You picked that up, and great job. And we just kind of keep it going, again, back to that positive language, and you keep going with it, and you keep the momentum going, and we've just redirected out of a potential tantrum. Now, at that point, you still want to make your trip quick, because you know it's still bubbling under the surface potentially, but that's a great redirect. But there may be other ways you can redirect as well. Please leave that in the comment section below, any strategies you've used to redirect your child's attention before you sense a big meltdown. The other piece is, so your child melts down. And you've pulled them aside, or it's right in the middle of everything, you're staying calm. But the other piece is you do want to acknowledge it, like, you know, and be compassionate. Yelling at them, get up, that's not going to make it better. So that's, again, all falls back to you being calm. So you need to be calm, compassionate, but at the same time, don't be overly talky. Don't be trying to explain, oh, come on, it's okay, we'll do this, it's okay, because it's okay. I'm sure if you have tried it, if it's worked, please let me know. But a lot of times it doesn't. It's just talking. They're in a headspace now. They're not hearing you. So you stay calm. They're crying, but you're going to always stay calm. And less words. Be there for them. If you need to kind of rub their back or whatever it may be, keep them from like flailing too much and getting hurt. But you really kind of want to leave them. Let them be reassuring, but not overly talkative. All right, now on to the most challenging thing for parents, and I get it because I've been there just too many times personally and as well with my practice, and that is ignoring strangers and their judgy looks. You're there, your focus is on your child. They're going through something, And that's what you're going to worry about. Now, when I say worry about, in your head you're worrying about, you have a calm demeanor. Other people will have comments to say, or they'll just look. And I've had families that I've worked with that have had the toughest time. Their child, I remember one family in particular, we were walking through a store and their child got a chance to play with some dinosaur toys that were there, but it was time to move on. And so they kind of pulled away, come on, let's go, we gotta go. And he went fairly easily considering, but holding dad's hand while mom pushes the cart, and he's like, ooh, and all the crying, all the cheers. And his parents were like frozen in fear about everybody's judgmental looks. But the thing was, and I was able, since I was kind of just following all this and just watching, nobody looked. Even I was surprised in that moment. Now, a lot of times I know I see a child crying or upset, like the typical, they wanted something, they can't have it, and you're walking, the parents walking them along and they're crying. I kind of look and it's like, kind of smile, like, because hey, we've all been there. Nobody was looking. We passed a bunch of people. Nobody looked at the child. Nobody looked at the parents. But the parents felt like everybody in the world was looking at them. So a lot of times our kids can really kick up and they put up a nice show. And so you do get the looks. But sometimes we're overly sensitive to that. It's a long journey with our kids on the autism spectrum. So it's really important to develop a thick skin. And people have comments to say about everybody's kids sometimes, and that just needs to be like turned off. You're in the moment, you have to deal with your child, they're going through something, and that's what's your focus. That's the most important thing. Some people may feel like you want to say something to people, and you can just say, my child has autism, and we're working through something. End of story. I've also had people who want to help, and sometimes it's nice, but it's not helpful. They'll start they try to redirect as well, but at this point the child's full-blown tantrum. Trying to redirect at that point is kind of too late, so they start bringing more attention to it, your child, and your child's kind of getting more and more upset, and you're now trying, like, no, it's okay, thank you, thank you, thank you. So it can kind of get a little crazy. One thing I think that is so important is, like I said about staying calm and looking calm. This has worked for me a lot personally, is when I had my daughter plop on the ground, crying, and I just stand there like looking around like I'm totally in control, like I don't care. It's a lot of times when a parent is like, you look like you don't know what you're doing, and you're like, you don't know what to do. People see that and they actually do want to help, and other people come in because you look like you don't have control. So the other piece is like, fake it till you make it. You're dealing with a child as best you can, but you're like, I got this. Like I expected this to happen, and I'm just waiting it out. And my child knows I'm here. I've reassured them, but I'm going to wait. And so, but you're thinking all this, you're not saying all this. And a lot of times that will keep people away. They won't come in to interfere. Now, of course, if you feel you need the support, that's fine. And like, you can elicit that as well. But it's just so important, your demeanor, how much that holds weight in this whole situation. So be very mindful. But ultimately, in the end, everyone, you just go stick it, okay? It's your child. You worry about them. And really, you will be able to tune this out. I've done it enough times. Even my daughter, when she was about 14, I'll still remember to this day. Now she was old enough to not be tantruming like this. And I don't even remember what the tantrum was about, but we were in the produce section of the supermarket. And I don't know, she started up and she started getting upset, making a scene. Now she's 14, so she's a little bigger. But she starts raising her voice and getting nice and loud, and I call it getting squawky because it always brings attention from everybody. And I said, I'll deal with you when you're calm. And I just stood there, but I turned my head away. And I saw this other woman was like right near my daughter, kind of looking, but she kind of saw like, okay, she's got this, and left it alone. And then my daughter kind of got together. Like, she didn't get the rise out of me either. Now in my next video, I'm going to go more in depth about specific strategies for specific types of tantrums, where we'll go more in depth about that. But it's so important, your demeanor. I can't say it enough. So definitely something to work on. And again, everyone can just all go, you know where. So the last thing I want to mention is that persistence really matters. Each trip is practice for your child and for you. And so the more you go, the more your child gets a chance to learn to handle the environment. If you avoid going out with your child, that leads to feelings of isolation where you start avoiding places with your child or always waiting till they're asleep or some other time to go out. And it doesn't give them the opportunity to grow and to adapt and to ultimately be more independent. So please persist with this. It is really, really important. Each successful outing builds resilience and skills for future independence. And there's nothing more important than that. Now, there's no perfect shopping trip, but every time you try, you're teaching your child how to be part of the world, and you're showing up as a strong, committed parent that you are. Keep showing up, keep trying, and you got this. If this video was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more support and strategies. Also, drop a comment below. What's worked for you during store outings with your child? Let's learn from each other and support each other. Thanks for watching.